And we are back. Thanks for clicking on the link. Welcome to Good Energy. Enjoy the content, and everyone have a blessed day. And we are back. Welcome to Good Energy, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment below. If you do not like the video, please hit the dislike button. All interactions help the algorithm. Hey, we started with 8 ladies. We are now down to 2. That's right, 6 of the top 8 ladies in the world have been eliminated. This has been some great tennis all week long. Definitely some of the best tennis we've seen all year. Paula Badosa eliminated. Iga Swiatek eliminated. Karolina Pliskova out. Krejcikova, Sabalenka, Marie Sakkari in a grueling 3-set match last night, the last one to leave Mexico. And we're down to 2, Garbiñe Muguruza and Anett Kontaveit, 2 of the best ladies on tour. Definitely the 2 ladies playing the best to end the season here. And who is going to take the WTA Finals champion for 2021? These 2 ladies played just a few days ago, and Anett Kontaveit was on the short end of that racket. Very frustrating day, broken twice in the match, losing 6-4 to 6-4 in straight sets to Garbiñe Muguruza, who completely dominated Anett Kontaveit. The head-to-head with these 2 ladies stands at 2-all. Well, the 2-all was before their previous matchup a few days ago, but now Garbiñe Muguruza leads the head-to-head 3-2. Prior to their most recent match here in Mexico, Anett Kontaveit got the best of Garbiñe Muguruza at Moscow earlier this year, winning in straight sets 6-1, 6-1, breaking Muguruza 4 times. Completely horrible match for Muguruza, but she was definitely not in tip-top form as she is currently. And before that, they played years ago. Several years ago. We can't really use a lot of that data, as both ladies, in my opinion, well, at least Anett Kontaveit is playing much better. Those are Muguruza's championship years. 2017 at the French Open, Garbiñe Muguruza won that in 3 sets. Before that, they played at Stuttgart, and Kontaveit won that in 3 sets. And then prior to that, 2016 at the Australian Open, where Muguruza gave Anett Kontaveit a donut, winning that in straight sets 6-love, 6-4 at the Australian Open, before capturing her championship. But nonetheless here, these 2 ladies do have to play for a 6th time here, and this will be for probably the biggest yet to date achievement of these ladies' careers. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the years these 2 ladies are having. Anett Kontaveit, we saw her squeak into the final top 8, edging out Ons Jabeur. Fortunately, there were no injuries, so there were no injury alternates needed for the top 8. Both ladies, all ladies, tip-top shape. They played well, no injuries. The previous WTA Finals we saw in 2019 was just horrendous, abhorrent to say the least. Several injuries. Osaka, Bianca Andreescu, all the ladies were hurt. And a lot of that, I think, came down to effort. I think sponsors played a big role in that. Ladies did not want to be defeated. Money, I think a lot of, unethical things came to play. I don't think Osaka was hurt. I don't think Bianca was that injured. I think Halep just completely beat her. We remember Bianca Andreescu had several match points against Halep, and she couldn't shut the door. She couldn't close the deal. But nonetheless, all of these ladies, great sportsmanship, great sportswomanship. great effort, great attitude, great demeanor. And the lady we're looking at right here, definitely one of the best years. She is attempting to tie Ashley Barty for the most championships this year, and she's going to need a perfect showing to do it overall. But in this corner from Estonia, we have, standing at 5'9", the right-handed, multi-versatile player, great backhand, great forehand, decent serve, and just someone that likes to hold their court dominance, someone that's always fighting for court control, great IQ, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. When she loses, it's normally one break due to maybe a couple missed shots, but she's not making a ton of unforced errors. She's not making a ton of double faults. She's gonna be in most games that she plays. Unlike a lot of players on tour, she doesn't beat herself. She's very good coached by Dmitry Turchinov, and her coach states that she's a good listener. She's great to work with. And now this is a newer coach, so sometimes relationships don't work. You have to move on, find someone that fits your personality, and a lot of times they could be teaching the same things. Maybe they're just presenting it in a different way where you can listen and absorb it. But nonetheless, all great things coming out of her camp in the media about Annette Kontaveit. Great attitude, just a great leader, very coachable. And the reality here is, if she wins the first set, she's going to win the match. She has a unprecedented streak of 24 consecutive victories when she wins the first set. And we saw that last night against Marie Sacre, an unbelievable match last night. And the reality is, in the first set, it looked like that match was going to be over early. But Marie Sacre, she held on by a very thin line in the second set. If she would have been broken in that seventh game, that match would have been over immediately. But nonetheless, she held on. And then Kontaveit made a mistake in the eighth game. Ended up giving Marie Sacre a gift. And then Marie came out in the third set and broke Kontaveit, and looked like Marie was headed on for a victory. But nonetheless, if Kontaveit makes mistakes, she's able to right them. She doesn't make many mistakes. She has a very good forehand return down the line and cross court. That's something she's going to need against Garbiñe Muguruza, who last match showed that she was able to take the court dominance and control the court. This is something that Annette Kontaveit is not used to. Now, Marie Sacre is a very strong, powerful player. We saw her overpower Sabalenka, and Sabalenka gave her a ton of gifts, just making a ton of mistakes as well. But nonetheless, Marie could not overpower Kontaveit last night. She just couldn't do it. Kontaveit just too strong, too big, controlling the baseline. And when Marie would mix up the slice and the back shots, she'd just run right up and defend them. Garbiñe, however, is stronger than Sacre. Now, not just in pure strength, but in the way she's able to hit balls with accuracy. See, a lot of players like the Sabalenka and the Madison Keys, they have strength, but sometimes they're not able to control it. Kontaveit has good strength, she can control, but this is where Garbiñe ups her in that category. Garbiñe has really good strength and better control, and it's tough for Kontaveit. I mean, Garbiñe is 6'1", Kontaveit's 5'9". I'd probably say Kontaveit's probably at least 5'10", maybe 5'11". I think that's a little on the short side, but nonetheless, Garbiñe's 6'1", maybe 6'2". She proved she might be too strong for Kontaveit, but nonetheless, Kontaveit having an amazing year when she wins the first set, and she's just on a hot streak. I mean, take away the one loss by Garbiñe a few days ago. I mean, she's won literally 12 of her last 13 matches. So yeah, she is on fire. And let's take a look at Garbiñe Muguruza. Okay, without further ado, Garbiñe Muguruza. Listed at height 6 feet. I think she's probably closer to 6'1", if not 6'2", with her sneakers on. 3 years the senior of Annette Kontaveit, coached by Martinez, who is a very good coach. I love their coach relationship. It's very calming and relaxing. And you see when Garbiñe gets in trouble, you never really see the frustration out of their camp. Unlike some of these other camps with Zachary and Sabalenka, where things start to go wrong, they're, frowning, they're making faces at their camp. And you have to keep your composure. You never see Garbiñe lose her composure, even when she's losing or winning. When she's winning, she's smiling, but when she's losing and down, you never really see her get frustrated. And I think that's the sign of a true professional and expert. Kind of like you look at some of these all-time greats. Michael Jordan, when he was losing, he turned it up. You never really saw him get frustrated and things like that. The same with Kobe Bryant. When they were losing, you never really saw him get frustrated. You saw the eye of the tiger. And that's what Garbiñe Muguruza does. But nonetheless, 2 singles titles this year. She is 38-16 on the year prior to coming into the tournament here and squeaking out a total of 3 wins. That puts her at 41-17 on the year. Former number 1, 9 single titles, going for her 10th title, and this would be the most important of it all. A lot more experience than Annette Kontaveit, being only 3 years older. 433 wins, total 436 counting the wins in this tournament. 216 losses. In terms of Garbiñe Muguruza, I think she's going to need to bring out all of her weapons in this one, kind of like she did last match. I think she will have the confidence knowing she just beat Annette Kontaveit. Annette Kontaveit, I think that was a I think that was a good game. I mean, she had her spot punched in the semifinals. So for some to think that maybe she didn't give her all, I don't think that's the case. I think that was a match where Annette gave her all, and she was clearly frustrated looking at her camp. You haven't seen her throw her racket down much this year or in the recent couple months, but she did that last match. She was very frustrated looking at her camp for answers. And Garbiñe, this is going to come down to who's going to establish court dominance early. It's tough for Annette Kontaveit to take that court dominance from Muguruza, because Muguruza does a lot of things well that Zachary does not do. Garbiñe, for one, does not make a lot of mistakes. Garbiñe can match the forehand power of Kontaveit and even take it up another level. In terms of Kontaveit, when she's returning her forehand, a lot of times that's going right into the shoulder height of a lot of players that are shorter than her, like the Zachary, like the Krejcikova, like the Igas of the world. When she's returning that forehand to Garbiñe Muguruza, it's a good shot for her to return. It's a good shot on pace, on rhythm, and that keeps the extended rallies going to where Garbiñe can set up her shot that she wants. Garbiñe is the type of player where she can go the rallies or she can set you up for the quick shots. So that's the difference between Zachary. And that's the difference between Muguruza and Zachary. Zachary, the longer the rally goes, the more prone she's likely to make a mistake. That's not the case with Garbiñe. She's a much smarter player and much stronger player, and she's versatile. If you take a look at the total points of the last match they played a few days ago in Mexico, Garbiñe Muguruza, 43 total points to Annette Kontaveit's 40. That's a lot of points, and that will definitely get the victory. But for the most part, that lets you know she can score off of Kontaveit. Okay, she can score. Total return points on 24. Okay, she's able to return against Kontaveit. Very important. And a lot of the players here struggled with Kontaveit in terms of her court dominance and getting points off of her. That was a big issue, but that's not going to be an issue with Garbiñe Muguruza. She's going to be able to get points, and if her serve, I can imagine that Coach Martinez is definitely enforcing this. If she can get her serve down to where she can get and produce an effort of 10 aces or more, then Kontaveit is going to be in some big trouble. Remember, they are donating $300 per ace to cancer awareness. So 10 aces, that's the target that I'm setting. If Muguruza gets 10 aces, she will win the WTA Finals. 10 aces is the target number. About 5 per set, 6 or 4, something like that. 10 aces is the total. Let's look at the return game. First return points 13 for Muguruza to Kontaveit 7. Return, very important. She can return the ball against Kontaveit. That's something that Sakkari could not do last night, especially for the first and much of the second and late third set. She couldn't return. All right. Break points converted, 2 of 6. She had 6 break points against Kontaveit. That's something that Sakkari only had 2 last night, but the reality is it took Kontaveit's mistakes for that to happen. Nothing. She didn't even sniff a break point in the first set, but nonetheless, 6 total opportunities for Muguruza. If Muguruza gets 6 opportunities to break Kontaveit, she's going to win this match. Only 3 for Kontaveit, and Muguruza experience showed, and she held on, preventing all 3 of them. If Kontaveit doesn't get a break point converted on Muguruza, there's no way she wins the match. There's no way. It's impossible for any opponent. So that type of defense, if we see that today, Muguruza will also win. That is a path to victory for Muguruza. 10 aces, converting the break points, dominating the return game. How can Kontaveit win this match? Kontaveit is going to have to do a couple key things if she wants success and to win the WTA championship. First is aces. She cannot have a 2-ace performance against Muguruza and expect to win this match. Last match, Muguruza had 7 aces. I'm predicting 10 aces or more will get the victory for Muguruza. 2 aces is not going to get it. She has to find another way to get points off of Muguruza because she did not dominate the first return point or the return service game, and she did not convert any break points. Aces serve is going to be critical. I predict Kontaveit is going to need at least 6 aces or more to get a victory today. Double faults. Both ladies appeared to not really be fatigued. We saw Sakkari and Sabalenka commit a ton of double faults. She definitely will have to keep her double faults to 3 or less. She cannot give any points to Garbiñe Muguruza. But she's going to have to focus on the first serve points 1. Garbiñe was ready to pounce on her service game. She only produced 2 aces. So she knows that the velocity was down, the kilometer speed was down. She noticed that, so she pounced on all of her service efforts. 80% of first serve points won. Kontaveit, 69%. That's not too bad, but she's going to have to creep up into the mid to low 70s if she's going to want any success here. In the second serve, she only had 3 double faults, but her second service points, only 11 for 22. 50% against a good player like Garbiñe Muguruza is not going to get the victory. That's going to need to creep up to the high to mid 50s, if not low 60s, if she's going to win. And then she saved 4 of 6 break points. But the reality here is she's going to have to break Garbiñe Muguruza. Muguruza saved all of her break points. She's going to have to break Muguruza to get this victory. That is a key. Can she do it? Here is my official prediction for the WTA 2021 championship. Barbara Krejcikova and Sinakova will win the WTA 2021 doubles championship. Now for I had to sneak that one in there. But now for The WTA singles champion for this year, my official prediction. Both ladies have a very similar style. They both have good ground strokes. I just feel that Kontaveit lately, I feel that her superwoman powers are starting to break down. I mean, having Zachary, no discredit from Zachary, but having her force 3 sets and break you in the 3rd set with as many errors as she makes, and her court IQ, I have to take Muguruza to win the championship. She will have the crowd behind her. The crowd will be overwhelmingly supporting Muguruza. They want her to win, and Annette's going to have to find a way to defeat 2 people in this match today. The crowd and the hovering 6-foot Muguruza. Muguruza wins this match and will be the champion of the tour. Thank you guys for the support. Please like, subscribe, comment below who do you think is going to win, and stay tuned for my Serena and Venus Williams documentary that will be coming out within the next week or 2. Thank you for the love. Everyone have a great holiday. Stay safe.